Just 2 months out from the launch of their next-gen systems, Microsoft have finally announced a huge amount of information about their upcoming consoles. Let's get into everything you need to know about the upcoming Xbox Series X and S. What an absolutely huge week for Xbox fans and fans of console gaming in general. After months of speculation, rumors, leaks, and more, Microsoft have finally dumped an entire truckload of information and quelled any ongoing questions around what is happening with their next-gen launch. We have prices, a concrete release date, payment options, Game Pass news, detailed specs, and a whole lot of other cool stuff to cover in this video, so sit back and enjoy. And if you're new here, I thank you for joining me and checking out Direckt Gaming. And if you're a returning viewer, I can't thank you enough for finding this channel and supporting what I do. And if you like what we do here on the channel, I'd love it if you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video too. YouTube analytics tells me that only 25% of my audience is subscribed, so let's change that. It helps out the channel in a massive way, and your support is the reason I keep doing the things I do. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into all the Xbox news and information we have to get us excited for next gen. The flagship model of the Xbox next generation lineup is the Xbox Series X, with a retail price of $499 and revealed to be coming in at $749 Australian. The Series X is the top of the line box for core Xbox gamers. Microsoft have even revealed that the next-gen consoles will release on November 10th worldwide, and you can get your pre-orders in starting September 22nd. A powerhouse of a machine and the most powerful console ever made, the Series X comes packed to the brim with features including a custom 8-core Zen 2 CPU running at 3.8 GHz, coupled with a 12 teraflop custom AMD RDNA GPU, 16GB of GDDR6 RAM, and a custom 1TB NVMe SSD. Next-gen games will only run directly from the SSD, but Microsoft have made it clear that expandable storage is still an option. The console houses a custom expandable storage slot on the back, and 1TB Seagate drives will be available at launch to increase the usable storage of the device for next-gen games. However, USB 3.2 external hard drives will be compatible with the system for storage and access of previous gen games, as well as a place to store games that you're not currently playing at the time, and will be able to be transferred onto the SSD at will. With its pillar of power design aesthetic for maximum airflow, topped by a massive fan, the Series X will be a beast of a machine, but will be incredibly quiet even when pushed to its limits. This console is for those who want the most power and performance with zero sacrifice. Games will be able to run at 8K thanks to HDMI 2.1 standard, although 8K gaming is almost entirely unlikely, and with a maximum of 120 frames per second. Now, don't get this twisted, Microsoft isn't trying to say the Series X will run at 8K at 120 frames, but these are just its upper limits. A lot of games will run at 4K 60, some at 4K 120 like Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or at dynamic resolutions at 120 frames like Forza Horizon 4, the upcoming Dirt 5, and Halo Infinite multiplayer. The custom chipset on the Series X will support hardware, accelerated ray tracing, DirectX 12 Ultimate support, variable rate shading, and variable refresh rates. The Series X will also include features like machine learning through DirectML, which can improve AI, animations, and visual fidelity, as well as a whole host of other features that are way too much for my simple mind to explain. Xbox's Velocity architecture combines many of these features, as well as hardware accelerated decompression to reduce game file and download size, and will work side by side with the SSD to deliver games faster than ever before and allow for bigger, more highly detailed worlds than have ever been seen on console. There's so much more to unpack, like HDR reconstruction on older games, so I've linked some articles in the description below to give you all the information you need from people much smarter than me. All in all, the Series X is the big daddy of Xbox's next generation lineup. The baby brother of the Series X, Microsoft just announced the Xbox Series S, which will get the next generation of consoles into the homes of many, many more people for a much lower price, just $299 USD, 249 British pounds, or 499 Aussie dollars. In a tiny discless form factor that does slightly resemble a Bluetooth speaker, almost 60% smaller than the Series X, the Series S will be one hell of an entry point for customers. Featuring the same CPU as the Series X, just running at slightly lower clock speed of 3.6 GHz and a 4 teraflop GPU. Now, yes, this is fewer teraflops than the current Xbox One X, but there are a few things to note for those who weren't aware. With AMD's RDNA 2 architecture, the console will be more efficient and will technically be much more capable than the One X, although it will not support 4K rendering resolutions. The console will be aimed primarily at 1080p gaming, although it will support 1440p, and will feature 4K upscaling technology for those playing on 4K TVs or monitors. The big difference though is that the Series S will still feature all of the other bells and whistles of the big brother, including 120 frames per second support, variable rate shading, variable refresh rates, and will still be backed by Microsoft's Velocity architecture. With a lower amount of RAM, 10GB against the Series X's 16, and a 512GB SSD, the internal specs of the console are pretty impressive for its price point, but it's not being aimed at the same audience as the Series X. With an entry point into next gen being at only $299, Microsoft have possibly positioned themselves perfectly to target that casual market and will give them even more opportunity to get people into their Game Pass ecosystem. Speaking of which, alright, so hardware aside, Microsoft have even come out this week to add more value to their incredible Game Pass service. Not only will Game Pass subscribers be able to experience hundreds of games on their consoles, PCs, and even mobile devices through xCloud, but EA have finally done something good for the gaming community and have partnered with Microsoft to bring EA Play, which used to be called Access, to the service for Game Pass subscribers. This means Game Pass Ultimate players will be able to play over 60 EA titles from their vault, including Mass Effect, The Sims, Titanfall 2, and so many more. This is something that is a huge game changer for Game Pass, as it sets a precedent of other publishers to buy into the service to get even more eyes on their games. If you think that Game Pass isn't doing well for the company, or more importantly, you think it's not good value for us, maybe this will make you think again. With over 10 million players on the service right now, and you would assume it's going to grow even more at the launch of the next gen, Game Pass doesn't seem to be slowing down one bit, and this just makes it even better value for gamers to get their hands on games for a low price. Now, this video is all about positivity and hype, but I just want to address one thing. Game Pass is not taking away your ability to buy games. I see this so much on social media, and I want to throw my hat into the ring with this. You can still choose to buy any of the games on the service, and if you're subscribed and you want to purchase the game outright, you can even get a 20% discount. But don't think that Game Pass will take away your choice to buy a game or support the developers you love directly. Microsoft seems to be all about freedom to choose how you play, where you play, and what you play, so I really doubt there will be Game Pass exclusive titles that can't be enjoyed any other way. Anyway, let's get back to the hype. The only thing that Microsoft are really yet to wow us with is a first-party lineup for the console. Halo Infinite has been delayed until next year, Forza Motorsport is in early development, and we know that Avowed and Fable are still years away. The only coup de grace would be if we see, Forza Horizon 5 being announced at a September event, but again, I highly doubt it. With that in mind, pre-orders for the console start on September 22nd. So that could be a possible date for the next Xbox event, or even an episode of Inside Xbox. I think that with all the leaks that happened with the Series S, it may have been the catalyst for Microsoft to announce all these details, but September 22nd may have been the original day that all this would have worked out. Either way, us as players have now a much clearer idea of what's happening with Xbox's next generation launch, and even Assassin's Creed Valhalla has changed its launch date and moved forward a week, sitting it right beside the Series X and S launch date. People will be looking for games to get their hands on day one, and this looks like one of the blockbusters people will be buying with their consoles. It's also great to know that Yakuza Like a Dragon has also changed its release date, and we know now that Gears Tactics will be a launch title for the console too, after months of waiting for a concrete date for the previously PC exclusive title. Now, I just want to see Microsoft show more gameplay. In the Series S announcement video, there are snippets of gameplay running on the system, Gears 5 running at 120 frames per second, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Call of the Sea, Tetris Effect Connected, and even Outriders, but it was just a short segment. We need to see more, and we need to see what the Series X is actually capable of, like ray tracing, and hopefully that'll come at Microsoft's next showing in September. Show us Valhalla running on Series X with optimizations only found in the next-gen version. Show us the Ascent and Scorn and more Call of the Sea. Even show Cyberpunk 2077 running on the consoles. I said it last week and I'll say it again, this is the last thing Microsoft need to show before the final push and the final month leading up to the console. Gameplay. Let's hope they deliver. Thanks so much for watching this video and checking out Direckt Gaming. This one is a pretty exciting one for me, so I wanted to cover all the nitty-gritty details about the consoles for those who are confused or on the fence or just wanted to know more about what Xbox is doing with their next-gen machines and can get all the information in one place. I'd love for you to drop all your thoughts in the comments below as well. Let me know what console you're getting. Series S, Series X, are you sticking with PC, PS5? Let's chat next gen down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel and share it with some of your friends if they need a bit of a refresher about what's going on with next-gen Xbox consoles. I'm working really hard to get this channel growing and your support means more than you realize. Hit me up on Twitter as well at Direckt Gaming if you want to chat about anything at all. Until next time, thanks for watching and peace.